Evil Within is a title which I feel isn't talked enough in a horror space, with the likes of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, or even Amnesia to that effect. Despite being a AAA game and a name like Shinji Mikami, a game design veteran attached to it. You know, the guy who redefined this whole survival horror genre in video games basically, twice. Then why this game seems like a fading memory from everyone's mind? That's what I wanted to discuss in this video. What could be the reasons for the mixed reception for this game? Whether you like this game or not, one thing which I think everyone can agree on is that atmospherically this game looks phenomenal. From claustrophobic hallways to open desolated city to decrepit mental asylums to whatever this is. There is a huge visual variety on offer here. So kudos to the artists of this game. But the actual problem are the characters that occupy these spaces. And the shining example of this problem is our main character himself, Sebastian Castellanos. He doesn't react all that much to the things happening around him, he doesn't change or grow in any way, or we don't learn anything about him throughout the game. He remains the same one-tone character at the end of the game that he was at the start. Okay, it's only partially true, we do learn Sebastian's backstory, but this is relegated to some text form that you pick up in the save rooms. Sebastian doesn't even acknowledge or give us any piece of dialogue when picking up these diary entries, which ultimately makes it feel like a last-minute inclusion by the devs to make our protagonist feel somewhat relatable. I only recall one scene from the whole game where Sebastian's past is even hinted at.
Is this what it was like, Seb? After the accident?
Well, I never put a gun to my head.
No, of course not. Just quietly sank into a bottle.
I mean, if this game gave me an option to create my own character like in any other RPG game, I think the result would more or less be same in terms of their actual personalities. Not ideal for a game that prides itself on being cinematic with the stuff like black bars on the screen. Do turn off letterboxing, they don't make this game any more immersive. Ruvik, our main antagonist of this game, also has a very good tragic backstory, and piecing it all together is satisfying, but again, his actual character is pretty forgettable. He has no screen presence and he is very one-dimensional too. Same goes for the rookie cop, Julie Kidman. You don't know what the hell is going on with her until you play the DLCs. The only cast member who has a few memorable scenes is Joseph Oda.
You ever had the urge to just jump? When you're on a high place? Or the subway rolls by? Imagine if you had that urge for a minute straight. Then 2 minutes.
You fought it off 3 times now, Joseph. You're learning to stop it.
You're not listening. I'm not worried about stopping it, Seb. I'm worried about not wanting to stop it.
Overall, the cast is nothing remarkable. Characters range from bland to serviceable, in the base game at least. To be fair, previous ventures of Shinji Mikami like Resident Evil, God Hand or Vanquish also weren't any different in these regards. Those games also have a serviceable story and characters, but those aspects were never the selling point of those games. However, in this game, these aspects are more of a focus. That's why they are more of a problem here. The Evil Within feels almost as if Mikami reimagined RE4 almost a decade later. There are even tributes to that game, like the first mini-boss is a chainsaw guy and a secluded village as a starting area. The gameplay is a net positive in my opinion. Like there is a right amount of jank and punch that you feel when firing your guns. Use of matches adds a strategic layer in encounters. And also stealth is a welcome addition to the overall gameplay. But there are a few caveats with the resource management though, as it is practically non-existent. Sure, you might want to spend your resources carefully, but that's about the extent of it. There's no inventory. Likewise, a layer of decision making on whether to discard one class of ammo to make space for another is totally gone. If you are resourceful, you can stock up items for later use, but you cannot stock infinite items as there is a cap on how much ammo you can carry at once. Fair enough, the game has to be balanced. But this creates a problem. For instance, if you came across an item that you cannot pick up due to stock limit, well, you cannot do anything about it. The decision is already made for you. and it's a linear game. So it's not like you can come back later and find a use for that item or discard your existing item to make space for your new ones. However, the game does give you an option to upgrade your total stock capacity of your consumables like grenade, health syringes, and all the ammo types that you have to upgrade each of them individually. I mean, if there was just one option which upgrades our total stock capacity for all our items, that wouldn't be too egregious, I would say. But whatever we have now is just busy work at best. And this brings me to the progression of this game. Some skills could outright be removed or be better implemented, like melee damage is totally pointless. You won't find any use of it. Please don't upgrade your melee damage. The way you upgrade your total health or stamina is fine in here, but I like how it was done in Mikami's previous venture, Resident Evil 4, where combining different herbs that you find in levels upgrades your total health or give you a full health. And I like it in Resident Evil 4 because it was tied to exploration, and that was a survival horror game, so you'll be exploring every nook and cranny anyways, so why not make it a part of exploration? That was the genius of it. Again, I'm not saying it is bad in this game, it's fine, but I'd be lying if I said that I haven't seen it done better in the games that came before it. Ultimately, Evil Within is a game that I enjoy and keeps coming back to despite my issues with the game, as I can see what kind of game Tango Games wanted to make. And nothing encapsulates their vision better than Chapter 3, a small self-contained area filled with enemies and mini-boss, with one objective where you can sneak up on enemies or head straight on, disarm traps for supplies or use those same traps against them, different houses to explore for items and weapons. There are many ways to go about completing this level, and I really like this approach, and it would have been great if the whole game was built like this. This game may lack polish, but it's still a good game, and if you haven't played this game, do give it a go. You won't regret it. And his sequel is even better, that fixes almost everything and even expands upon the solid foundation laid in this game. Call me a pessimistic, but I don't think we will ever get any other game in this series. So we might as well dive into this pure nightmare-fueled horror game and have a blast.